Immigration update right about now on Kababayan Today.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
A good friend of the program, also a good friend of mine, Alison Aquino. Hello and welcome to Kababayan Today. Alison Aquino Silva.
Yes.
Right?
Happy New Year, Janelle.
Happy New Year.
Pleasure to be back on the show.
Yes. Attorney Alison Aquino Silva is going to be talking to us today about TPS. We talked about that before.
Yes.
There was a big push, right? Explain to us again what TPS is.
Yes, and the push is ongoing because temporary protected status, which is essentially, it's a humanitarian form of relief that is provided to countries that are undergoing some type of unprecedented disaster. So, for example, if they're experiencing war, or if, like in the Philippines, there was a horrific typhoon or an unprecedented typhoon that's causing tragedy and disaster within the country that is not normal, then TPS may be provided to certain countries.
And there is a push for that to be granted to the Philippines, which means that Filipinos here may obtain that TPS status. What are the benefits of that?
Exactly. And so recognizing that, you know, the Philippines, they're hit with typhoons every single year, but the Typhoon Yolanda, that really has caused havoc throughout the entire country in a manner that is absolutely different from all other typhoons. And so for those, if TPS is granted, the benefit would be that individuals who are presently in the United States would receive lawful status. And in addition to the lawful status, so they don't have to fear deportation, they would also be provided with work authorization and ultimately advanced parole so that they can travel in and out of the country.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have a friend who's here on a tourist visa looking for a job, 2 months, 3 months now here. So that means if this gets granted, she can apply for...
Precisely, exactly.
Okay.
And that is one of the basic elements or requirements for being granted TPS, is that you do need to be able to document that you're a Philippine citizen. Under TPS, there's a possibility that it would only be given to those who are directly affected. However, historically, and the anticipation is that all Filipino citizens would be eligible for TPS.
Wow.
And as you pointed out, it would be eligible to those who are here lawfully in the United States, so whether you're here as a tourist or maybe as an H-1B or an H-4.
Right. Or even as a student.
Or even as a student, correct. And in addition, and more importantly, those who are not lawfully residing in the United States, they would be eligible to obtain the lawful status, work permit, work authorization.
Wow, this is great, because it used to be, if you're, for example, a tourist here on tourist visa, you want to work here, you want to live here legally, the only options are to get married, or to be petitioned, or to get a work visa.
Correct.
And you have to look for an employer. But this time, you don't need that anymore if TPS gets granted.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And the basis, like I said, is because the government recognizes that the Philippines needs help.
Okay.
And so, as you know, the first form of relief is often friends and family. And so by having individuals obtain work authorization and be able to come out of the shadows, they will be able to get work and hopefully be able to provide contributions to help in the recovery of the Philippines.
So even if you've been here staying unlawfully for years, you can take advantage of TPS?
Correct.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, this is huge. We need to push for that.
Yes.
How long are the benefits for?
And so TPS is a temporary program. The government can provide TPS status for anywhere from 6 months to 18 months.
Okay.
Historically, based on other countries that have been granted TPS, historically the granting is typically for 18 months. What the U.S. government does is they recognize that a recovery based on a typhoon or disaster, it's not quick.
Right.
It does take a very long period of time. And so what they do is when that presumably 18-month period of time comes about, they will reassess and take a look whether the TPS benefits should continue. And historically, the government has provided extensions on the TPS designation.
But the first 18 months, that's a lot already for people to look for an employer, to look for other ways to be able to stay here legally, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And as Ronnie was mentioning earlier in the show, perhaps comprehensive immigration reform may come about. And so TPS is a good temporary bridge.
To bridge, exactly. All right, so what can people expect now?
So at this point in time, there was a big push, and there continues to be a big push, but there was a big push before Christmas. Things have slowed down a little bit, not because there is a concern that TPS will not be granted. Rather, there's been a little bit of slowdown because, as you know, the holidays were here, and actually the top two in management in the Department of Homeland Security, they were just appointed last December 17, 18, and so this change in the top management of Department of Homeland Security has resulted in a bit of a slowdown.
So anytime now?
Anytime now. We're just simply awaiting for Department of State to give its recommendations. So the anticipation is hopefully within the next 1-2 weeks.
I am so excited. And you have 1 to 2 weeks to prepare documents. In the meantime, while you're waiting, why not gather? What do they need to put together?
Exactly. And that's what people need to be doing right now. Most fundamental document is an identity document. So you need to have a government-issued document.
Passport?
So a Philippine passport,
okay.
Because more often than not, you're not able to get a state-issued driver's license or identification document. So individuals should get their Philippine passports renewed. It does often take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. In addition to that, you should get some basic vital documents like your birth certificates, marriage certificates, divorce decrees. And then also, just as importantly, you will need to prove continuous residence and presence in the U.S. So start documenting that you are here and start collecting those documents.
All right. And if you have more questions, that's the number to call on the screen if you want to consult case-by-case basis, of course, as well. They have offices here in Los Angeles and also in Honolulu for those of you guys watching us on Kiku. Thank you so much, and more power to you.
Thank you, Janelle.
More when we return on Kababayan Today. Don't go away.